Hi folks, today we're going to do the impossible square drawing. Now you saw the video where they did it freehand, where it looks something like this. I'm going to show you how to do it using graph paper. So I have a piece of graph paper, I have a pencil. I sometimes like a mechanical pencil for that sharp eraser, so I have one of those too. I have my black felt marker, pencil sharpener, ruler, potentially, you might need it, you might not, and then also my colored pencils. All right, essentially to get started, I'm going to do 3 concentric squares. So a square and a square and a square. I can decide how big I want it to be. Maybe I'll make mine, let's see, like 10 by 10. Let's see what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. So if I made it 10 that way, I'll need to make it 10 in that direction. Kind of hard to see on this graph paper, but I am drawing. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make a little mark just to know where to stop. There we go. When I make it a little darker, it's easier to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So on your own graph paper, whatever size you want it to be, you're going to make a square so it's the same size up as over. All the sides are the same length, like that. And then I'm going to make a square outside of it. So I think I might make this 1 wide. You could also do 2 wide. Let's maybe do 2 wide just for fun. So I'm going to make a box that's around this, so it's going to be 2 taller and 2 longer. So 2 taller, 2 lower, I guess, and 2 wide, so that there's a ring of boxes around it. So 2 taller, 2 lower. Same thing up here, 2 taller, 2 lower. Hopefully you can kind of see this coming into being. So now I have a box here and then a box around it. So I have 2 boxes. Go. Okay, I made mine kind of big. It's going off the page. So instead of doing a box around it, I'm going to do a box in the middle. So I'll go into from each edge and connect them. Same thing over here, into and connect it. Just kind of rotating my paper. I think that's easiest. Into and connect it. And then connect those 2. All right, so I have a box and a box and a box. 3 boxes ready to go. The next thing is to square off these corners. Right now it's at a point and I want it to flatten off. So on the 4 outside corners, I am going to go from edge to edge diagonally like that. And I'll erase it so you can see. Okay, so it's like you took the box and you dropped it on its corners and they got a little flat. So diagonally like that, do that all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll erase. You can use a white eraser, you can use a kneaded eraser. Let's erase those marks. Okay. Now we're going to add the part where they overlap each other. You can see how this one kind of goes up and to the right, and then this one comes out from underneath it. It's really an L shape. So if I rotate it, there's always going to be an L coming up from the middle and then going to the outside, coming up from the middle and then going to the outside. It's the same thing all the way around. So I'll do the same thing here. At this corner that we just kind of lopped off, I can connect this line, grab a different pencil, connect that line like that. So now it's pointy. I'll do the same thing, rotate my paper and connect just that little section so that this comes up into a little point. And I'll do that all the way around. Okay, pause the video if you need to catch up and make sure that you've got 4 points, kind of like a pinwheel. Okay, but this should connect right here, and this should connect right here, making sure you can see that, and right now it doesn't. So that means that I need to connect this line here, and then erase this bit. And I'll do this 4 times so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to connect this line here, and then erase this vertical one. I'll do it again. I will connect this line here, going from the inner corner, the inner square's corner out, and then I'll erase this little section of vertical line. And what I end up with is my L shape that comes to a point. So it comes out like this and then goes up to a point. I'll do it again. So coming from the inner square, I'll just go out till I hit that next line, and then I will erase just the little section underneath it so that I end up with that L. This should be able to go over and then up. And one more time, I'll show you again from the corner of that inner square out just a little bit till it hits that next line, and then you have to erase this section. I almost said delete. That's not right. You have to erase this section. Okay, let's check. I'll go around. Can I go over and up and I come to a point? Awesome. Over and up and I come to a point. Awesome. Over, up. Yep, one more. Over, up. Fantastic. Next thing I'm going to do is carefully and slowly, using my ruler, I'm going to outline this with a black felt marker. I'll go ahead. Don't forget your corners. Okay, once you've outlined everything in pen, take a minute and erase it using your kneaded eraser. Try to get rid of all of the pencil marks. Here I go. Okay, if there are any gaps in my pen, I can close them up now. Next comes, oops, I saw a little stubborn pencil. There we go. Next comes the coloring phase. I'd like you to pick at least 2 colors. One will be your main color, and then the other will be your shadow color. So I'm going to start with a nice citrusy yellow. Voila. I like to keep my pencil sharpener in an old Tupperware. That way I don't make a mess with my shavings. And whoa, got a little enthusiastic there. Let me try that again. I'm going to start by coloring the whole thing in lightly. So I'll go ahead and speed this up and give everything a nice layer of yellow. Here I go. Okay, now that we have our base color, I'm going to select a second color, and I can use that to make my shadow. We want to make it look like it's kind of tucking into itself. That's part of the optical illusion, how it looks like it's going underneath. And part of the way that we do that is through shadow. So I'm going to pick a slightly darker color. In this case, maybe I'll pick this orange. And right here where this one in the innermost track runs into this middle one, I'm just going to do a little bit of shadow. I want it to be darkest right where it touches up against that other section, And then I want to let it slowly fade out. So like that. And then I'll rotate and I'll do it again. So now for this section, darkest right where it touches up against that other shape, and then let it fade out. Do that on all 4 sides. Okay, I can add another color if I want. Sometimes adding a darker color gives it even more depth and dimension and makes it look a little more interesting. Having a hard time with my colored pencils today. Okay, so I might add just a little bit of another color here. It doesn't have to be darker, just to make it more rich and interesting. It's like adding another topping on an ice cream sundae. Why not? Let's throw some caramel on there, or some whipped cream. Yep, see how rich that is compared to that. Let's do on all 4 sides. If you do it to one, you should do it to all 4. And finally, let's apply the same concept to these pointy bits. They look a little plain. This is so interesting, and these look kind of empty. So I'm going to take a different color, and I'm just going to let it fade out on those points. Here I go. If I wanted to, I could add another color here, just to enhance the interest in this section. I mean, you can keep going. You can add as many colors as you want. But at the very minimum, add that interior one to show that it's got some depth. And I'll do this on all 4 just for fun. My colored pencil's given up on me. All right, I'll finish that on my own, but you can see that we have a 3-dimensional looking form using just a couple lines and an eraser. All right, good job. I'll talk to you soon.